All right, it's time for another episode of Not Just Football with Cam Hayward. And now we have a special guest, my D-line brother.
That's right.
Super Bowl winner.
That's right.
Pro Bowler. All pro. You name it, you got it. My friend, Fletcher Cox. Brother, thank you so much for coming on today.
Man, thanks for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure. Like I just said, when I first, we just dabbed it up. I made it. Cam Hayward podcast. So that's another step in life. Let's go.
Okay, well, let's get it cracking, you know. I know it just got announced, and we don't know what your future is. We're going to talk about it. But I want to ask you, week 1, Eagles play in Brazil. How you feel about that? And is Fletcher Cox going to be there?
Man, you know what? Like, that's really neat, though. You know, I had caught wind of that the team was playing in Brazil, but week 1, that was surprising.
Yeah.
On a Friday night.
That too.
The league is they're stepping their game up, you know. Playing on Friday nights, but Friday nights probably can be rough. But good thing it is it's the first game of the season.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
You know, guys got to report early. So
that's all we care about is reporting early.
Guys got to report early. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Well, there's been some changes on the Eagles. How do you feel about Vic Fangio coming over to be the new DC?
You know, I like Vic. You know, he was there as a consultant. 2 years ago, we always had conversations. We always talk. He loved ball. You know, that's his biggest thing. He loved ball. He liked ballers, and you know, he's gonna be a really good fit for Philly.
Mm. Okay, so we got to talk about your team a little bit. The Tush Push. Is it bullshit or what?
Snoopy?
You call it Snoopy?
We don't call it the Tush Push.
What do you call it?
Snoopy.
Snoopy. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you feel about it?
It's great.
No.
Did you stop it in practice?
Be honest.
We don't practice it.
You just do it.
The offense practice it, I guess, in walkthroughs, but like I've never had to go against our offense in training camp when they run Snoopy.
What if they did? Would they get it? Would they convert?
No, I would.
What's the game plan? How do you stop it?
I would hit them with that.
Come get me.
One of these young guys in practice? Oh no, I can't do that in practice, coach. No. You got Kelsey and Lane and Jordan. Them guys bearing down on you. No, I'm okay with that. But it is successful though. You know, it is a successful play. You know, I think it's been stopped. I mean, it got stopped twice this year by the same team. It is definitely a third and 1, 4th and 1. I mean, I'm gonna say, like I said earlier this year, is everybody's a gangster until they see us get in that formation.
I feel it.
Ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah,
no doubt about
that's
that.
What
dope.
makes Kelsey so special, though? How is he able to get so much push on that play?
I mean, honestly, the surge, if you really look at it, the surge really pushes itself because everybody is trying to go. If you really look at it and watch it, Jalen really wait until the surge goes away and then he goes forward. That way he gets the snap, protect the ball, the surge goes, and then he goes. You got guys jumping over, like that don't help.
No.
Like it might as well just go ahead and like give us the first down. Because, you know, like Coach said, early in the season, we play on what, 1st and 9.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 1st and 9. little ego from Coach, but you gotta love him though.
Why do all coaches think like that?
That's coaches. You know, they think that way, and it's like, hey man, like, you know, I gotta go out there and play, and these guys are thinking about what you just said. So
Yeah.
let's not poke the bears over there.
All right, so we talked about messes. I want to let you give a shout out. Why are you here?
Man, with Ty, you know, obviously, you know, this year, right before the season, you probably see the commercial of, you know, number 1, they had 3 big dudes.
Yep,
Ty showed
love
a bunch
it.
of love.
Wow, damn.
There you go.
Here we go, right here. See?
Wow.
Are those your
That
clothes?
was great, yeah.
Do you really want to know what this is?
What is it?
It's a couple of bathrobes from the hotel. You see how he threw that at me? That's because Ty can tackle any pile.
There you go.
If
There
I
you
trust
go.
him, you should too, baby. Come on.
All right. You talk about trust. Talk about some of those young guys you got on your D-line. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and what to expect from them.
I expect a lot from them, as always. You know, those guys, they were drafted very high. And, you know, they, you know, always, you know, coming to Philly, and you drafted in the first round, there's a lot of expectations where you, first year or 8th year, you're still around, right? But those guys, they're going to be good. You know, they take the coaching. They come out practice. They practice hard. And obviously the game is, you know, kind of slowing down for Jordan a little bit now because he'll be going into his 3rd year. Jalen, and he's a freak. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he don't. I wouldn't be surprised if we win. Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
He's a baller, and he started hot. He had a little freak injury in practice. Kind of set him back for a couple weeks, but then he started to really started to take off later in the season. Winning those one-on-ones because he finally realized that you're only going to get so many a game, and you know that.
Yeah.
Taking up opportunities in them one-on-ones, man, and Jordan's coming a long way. I feel like Jordan, this year he was able to play, every down, in and out some games, and when the guy went down, he had to step up, so he did that.
One more question before we go to Cam's Blitz. That's our quick hits. But I want to ask, we both have a shared teammate in Javon Hargrave. He's here in the Super Bowl again. What are your thoughts on him and making it to another Super Bowl?
I text him. I'm always happy for Javon. You already know, like you grew with him as a teammate. I grew with him as a teammate, and we both can talk about and probably can sit down and talk about forever, like the stories about him and how much he's grown, and as a player, as a person, and you still kind of you got to get that leadership out of it a little bit, but he's got it in him, and that's one thing I respect about him is he's not afraid of being uncomfortable or challenged by anybody.
I love that. That's my guy. All right, now time for Cam's Blitz. Quick questions, quick answers.
Oh boy,
here we go. Worst dressed player on the Eagles.
We know. Oh, it's a couple. Who you want me to start with?
Go ahead,
Offense
whoever.
or defense?
Go defense.
Probably Jordan Davis.
Oh, offense.
You want 1A and 1B?
Yeah.
Probably. It'll be Jason Kelsey will be 1A. Lane Johnson will be 1B.
Oh. Same
Those
line.
my guys,
okay.
though.
If you could play alongside any current or past D lineman, who would you choose?
Ooh. Any current?
Yes.
I played with Sue.
Yep.
You?
I was going to say, it's Cam Hayward's podcast.
I love it.
Did you
I love
kinda
playing
honestly,
with you.
He set himself up.
That's the truth.
Appreciate that, brother.
Definitely you.
Appreciate that, brother. That's love.
That's the both, like, the respect that you got for the game, respect that I have for the game, the way that you play the game, the way that I play the game, like, definitely, that would have been nice.
Oh, we can make some things happen. I like that. All right. We know you love your V's. Name the dream car you currently don't own.
Ooh, the currently one I don't own would be a 70 Chevelle SS.
Ooh, you got style. I'll admit that. Shoot. If you could choose to select next season's Super Bowl halftime performer, who would it be?
Ooh. Definitely not.
Someone said Taylor Swift, and he said definitely not.
No, definitely not. Who I would have to choose? Chris Stapleton.
Oh.
And it'll be a Whiskey Myers come out. They will come out. Those are my boys, too. So.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's probably the best answer we're probably going to get today.
Yeah, we need that one. Make it happen.
Biggest trash talker in the league.
Brandon Graham.
Wow.
I believe that. BG can talk. And last one, favorite Usher song, and what song does he start with?
What song did Usher start with?
In his performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our episode of Not Just Football with Fletcher Cox. Man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I got to take my bad roads back.
Yeah. Why should you bet with Caesars Sportsbook? 2 words: Caesars Rewards. Every bet brings you closer to the type of benefits only Caesars can offer. Hotel stays, VIP experiences, sports and concert tickets, and more. It's not just an app, it's an empire.
Hey, guys, we are here at Super Bowl week for Not Just Football, and we have a very special guest, our very own, played for the Colts, Cowboys,
Eagles.
Yeah. He's a turned NFL analyst, and he does some great breakdown on social media. Brian Baldinger, thank you so much for coming on today.
Cam, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure to be here right now. I'm sorry I'm like all formaled up here, man. Like I feel like I should take my tie off and wrap it around my head or something.
Making us look bad up here.
Man, you look great. You look smooth.
Yeah, like this all falls apart. It'll fall apart. Give me a couple more hours. Like the shirt will be untucked.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, but we got to talk about. We were just talking about brothers off air, and I didn't know you had 2 brothers in the league as well.
Yep, Richard and Gary. Me and Rich, we came out the same year. We're dating ourselves here, 1982. So he went to the Giants. I went to the Cowboys. We played a long time. He got traded to Kansas City, and then I left. I left Dallas. I ended up going to Indy, then to Philly. And then my younger brother was in Kansas City and then Buffalo for a long time.
So was there any overlap at all?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were all there for 7 years together.
Wow.
7 years. Like we're all. In fact, it's funny. My dad was a military guy, so they were living in California at the time, and back when we started all playing together, like the only way that you could watch the games was to come to Vegas.
Yeah.
So they come to Vegas and come to the sports folks. They drive it every weekend. So they ended up liking Vegas so much, they ended up moving to Vegas. And my parents lived here for 25 years.
Wow.
So like they fell in love with the city, was just growing, and they got some work here. So that's how my parents lived here for a long time. But it started because they wanted to watch us play.
So you understand the city way too much.
Way too much. But you know how much I know it, Cam? Like, honestly, I used to come here and, you come here like on a Tuesday. By Friday, you're ready to get out.
Yeah.
So then I figured out, like, if I came here on a Friday afternoon, visit my parents, I'd go to dinner with them. They went to bed early. I'd go out with my buddies, and by Sunday morning, I was leaving out of town. Like, I was 48 hours, hit them and leave them. That was it.
That's awesome.
Not a lot of sleep, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, your friends come in, they all want to go, So I do that for a while. But, like, honestly, like, I have a 48-hour, like, window in Vegas where I could have fun and before you completely collapse.
That's understandable. All right, well, let's talk about Sunday.
Yeah.
Where does each team have the advantage on Sunday?
Well, I think, I was just watching. I was in Baltimore for the championship game with Kansas City. And the thing about Mahomes, I know it's more than Mahomes, but, his routine never changes. Like some guys just have this routine. Like he comes out on the field 3 hours before, he sits on the bench, he talks to the trainers, the equipment guys, and he cuts it up there and he just relaxes. And then, he takes off the cape and he just starts throwing these passes.
Yeah.
Like the routine, it doesn't matter if it's 33 below against Miami and Kansas City or if it was in the misty rain in Baltimore, his routine never changes. And I just feel like that's Kansas City. They know the routine here. Like I don't think anything's going to throw them off. Like they think that's an advantage. And then I think the advantage for San Francisco is I remember, like what this is like, Cam, but like if you lose 3 games in a row in this league, like the sky's falling.
Yes.
Like everybody's against you.
Yes.
Like you can't. And like that's what happened at San Francisco this year. They lost 3 in a row. Then they went on a bye week. So they didn't win a game in a month. But when they came out of the bye week, it's like they got refocused.
Yeah.
And like everybody, the veterans, the young guys, they all got locked in. And then they went on this run. And they're on the run right now. So I feel like when they came in that losing streak, a little bit like the Rams did 2 years ago, like they came in and they were locked in about what they wanted to be, how they're going to do it, and here they are.
Well, you bring up the Kansas City Chiefs and their offense. Left guard Joe Thuney might not be playing.
Right.
Is that going to be a big factor?
It might be if Cam Hayward's on the other side. But Nick Allegretti stepped in.
Yeah.
You got to step in, step up. I thought, this is a guy that has started at every position, center, guard, tackle. He's really smart. And honestly, when you watch him last week against Baltimore, you didn't see a drop-off. I mean, we're talking about a Pro Bowl guard now.
Yeah.
Consistently Pro Bowl. And next to Creed Humphrey, who's a great center. So he's going to play. I don't think Tooney's going to get in there just because of the strength factor with his bicep right now. So I think Nick's going to step in. I think he's going to be just fine.
You said earlier that Brock Purdy's going to have to make 5 incredible throws to win this game. Is he going to be able to do that against the Kansas City defense?
We're going to find out, but I think it's going to take that. Okay. It's going to take that. Like I remember, I live in Philly. I remember when Nick Foles won his Super Bowl with the Eagles, and he was the MVP. And I said a similar thing against the Patriots, and that was a shootout game, and he made 10. Like 10 where you just go back and watch these throws, you're like, how many guys can make that throw, drop it in the bucket on that spot at that time? And I feel like Brock can do that because I've seen him do it. But I feel like this Chiefs defense is that good that you're going to have to do that.
Well, there's a lot of people talking about game managers. I got a 2-part question for you.
Okay.
Is being a game manager a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's just a title. It doesn't stop you from winning games, Cam. But I feel like there's a negativity towards that name. Yeah. Like, okay, well, because what it connotates is, well, we could put 10 guys in that position with the team and the coach and players around them, and so then you're like, well, anybody could go. But I don't believe that. I believe like there's very few guys that are capable of winning a Super Bowl. And I think Brock is one of those guys.
Is he the top game manager?
Yeah, because there's only 2 guys left. One's the MVP. And so he's the only guy left right now. So he's the top game manager.
Yes.
But I think, maybe the opinion will change if San Francisco wins this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it has to. Like, if he goes out there and he just lays an egg, okay, then that's gonna be the title all off season.
Yeah.
But he got to the championship game last year, Cam, and as soon as he came in, the offense jumped. And look, he got hurt. He got hurt. He got hurt in the 7th play, and they couldn't compete against Philadelphia. And here he is again this year. Like, he keeps winning these games.
Does the draft status maybe create that illusion too? It's because if he was a first-round pick, we would not be calling him a game manager, right?
It's that. It's the way he looks. It's, he's sort of like this all-shuck guy. He doesn't bring any attention on himself. He's a big believer in his faith. I think all that stuff kind of goes against him, and the fact that all these other guys got passed over for him. So, sometimes you just have to break through and win it, and then you'll be on that status. But I don't think it's going to make any difference to him. Like, if he wins it, it doesn't win it to him. Like, I don't think his life's going to fall apart. But I do think maybe the respect that you get when you win Super Bowls, I think that might come his way.
All right, I really enjoy your breakdowns of film on Twitter. Now I want you to break down him. When you see his game, give me a breakdown of Cam Hayward.
Well, what I love is when Cam goes up against a rookie. Because the rookie's going to get broken in. Like, he's going to give him his long arm. He's going to stick that long arm in there, and he's going to walk him right back in the lap if he doesn't swim him on the way to take that quarterback down. That's number one. Number two is, I don't know how old Cam is now. But the effort and, the screen game, I always say the screen game is defensive lineman's game. Like, they got to turn and run and chase. So what does he do? He turns and runs and he chases. So that's that. So you're always going to get that effort and that play. And then, when you get a chance to get on an edge of a player, can that player stop your momentum from charging? You can't see anybody that can stop him right now. Is that fair?
It's very fair.
You want to know the age? Look at the beard. The beard is kind of telling.
Yeah, but the great thing
just for men, we may need to put some in the beard there, Brian.
The gray is deceiving. I want you to think about that.
Yeah, you can creep in at any age, man.
All right, I got to get a little bit more handsy. And bear with us. We're gonna have some fun now.
All right,
give us the story behind the pinky. Everybody needs to see this.
I saw Anthony Munoz. You see Anthony today?
Yes.
So Munoz has a similar one, right? Oh. So this one happened. We back in the day, Cam, like when we used to really have training camp. We hit it. I was in Dallas, and Randy White was our defensive tackle, and I was just doing what linemen do. I just was grabbing him every day and holding him. So his finger got caught in his jersey, man. It just got caught, and it just got ripped out. It was like literally dangling.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
it was just dangling right there, and so I just taped it. What was funny about it was, I was kind of screaming and looking at a thing and yelling about it. It did hurt, So, anyways, practice ends. We're going to lunch. So the defensive line, as they are, they sit in the front row of the cafeteria. So you used to come down the steps, and the whole D line was there, and they would just ruin everybody that walked down the steps. That's what linemen like to do.
Yes.
So when I walked down the steps, Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Harvey Martin, they all stood up, and they all were imitating me whining on the field, crying on the field. So I was like, oh God, why did I do that? And they all stood up, and then they all held up their hands, and they all had crooked fingers. They're like, hey, Baldy, welcome to the club. It was like a badge of honor.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, we got a special segment. It's gonna be pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's called Cam's Blitz.
Okay.
It's quick questions.
Gotcha. Quick
We're just gonna run through it.
Yep.
Name the best lineman you watched on tape.
Max Crosby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who wins in a hand-to-hand combat, you or Booger McFarland?
Oh, I'll take Booger down. I think I'm faster. Got first step quickness on
There
Booger.
you go.
I'll take him down.
Love it.
The first step, first punch.
Yeah.
My man.
Your preference of what you could be outside of an analyst, hand model or foot model?
Oh, man, hand model. I want to see somebody make a pair of gloves to fit that.
Okay, what is your go-to for rock, paper, scissors?
It's got to be Rock, because Rock crushes everything, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last one. Who wins the Super Bowl?
I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm just tired of betting against Mahomes and losing and looking bad. I'm going with the Chiefs.
You're going to break a lot of hearts on the West Coast.
I know. But if you ask me to choose, that's what I'm choosing right now. I've got to live with it.
Is it simply Mahomes? Is it?
No, I mean, Spags.
Yeah.
Spags is he's been through this thing before.
Mm-hmm.
He's he took down the path to perfection with the Patriots. He just knows how to game plan, and he's got some really smart young players that are really good.
Okay, last question with that. I just want to ask, watching that Baltimore Chiefs game,
Yeah.
why didn't Baltimore run the ball anymore?
Cam, it's the strangest thing. It's like
Yes.
this is what they do best. This is their identity. This is what Lamar does. He ran on that 4th and 1 play for 20.
Yes.
And then he ran on a counter boot for like 5. And that's the only called runs they had all day. They're still in a daze, in a fog in Baltimore about how this happened.
We have a special guest, special guest, Pro Bowler, national champion, Heisman winner, and inventor of Big Truss.
In the flesh.
You know it is. We got our guy, Mr. Ingram himself, here today. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, my dog, you know how to do an intro, man. You set that off, my dog. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yes,
well, let's
sir.
start right there, okay? Big Truss. How did that come about?
Bro, like, so when I got to Baltimore, like, I would just be like, Lamar, we gonna kill it this year. He'd be like, trust. I'd be like, big. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd be like, man, we about to kill it today. He'd be like, trust. I'd be like, big.
Big?
And then so like I started saying big trust. And then we did the interview. They wanted me to introduce him. And so I introduced him. And Judah was in the background, like hyping me up, like big trust. I was like, big trust. Woo, woo, Lamar Jackson. So it was just kind of like a genuine thing that kind of got caught on film. You know how it is, man, with your brothers, man.
Yeah.
You love your brothers, you hype your brothers up. Your brother doing something, you're going to go hard for them, right? And
Yes,
that's
sir.
all I was doing in that moment. And it just was a genuine moment that got caught on camera, and it just took off.
Of course, Judon would do that. I know Judon.
Judon in the back, like,
Judon hypes up everything.
whoa, whoa.
All right, Mark, I want to ask you something. A lot of blue ski masks this year, people talking about that, but memory serves us right. It was you and Alvin Kamara who created the,
Of
blue,
course,
the ski
man.
mask. Do you remember who you beat when the ski mask started?
The Eagles.
Was it the Eagles or was it the Steelers?
I don't remember that. I don't remember y'all doing it after our game, but our game was crazy.
No. So our game, I think some dudes maybe ran out the tunnel with ski mask on when we played y'all, but
yeah.
the post game interview was after we beat the Eagles.
Okay.
Ooh.
Post game interview was after we beat the Eagles. We did the interview and we had the ski mask on, and you know we was just balling, man. We was balling and vibing, and yeah. So that's
Part
what
of
it
a
started.
lot of stuff, man. Big
Yeah.
trust, ski
Man.
mask, the
Man.
trendsetter.
Man, hey, bro, when you having fun, you balling, you with your brothers, man, everything's on the table. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, balling with the brothers, you know.
ain't nothing like it. You still doing
I'm
it.
trying to.
You
Trying
still
to.
doing it.
Trying to. But we talk about balling. Baltimore Ravens.
Yes, sir.
Are you surprised they are not here representing AFC?
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised, man, especially because I felt like they just had an amazing season. I feel like this team was well-rounded. I felt like Lamar was ready to take the step,
Yeah.
and he showed that he will be the MVP this year, and he's definitely one of the best players in this league. And I think you know how it is in the playoffs, man. If you don't play your best game, if you hurt yourself, if you beat yourself, you turn the ball over, personal foul penalties,
Yes.
not capitalizing on game-changing plays, you go home.
Yeah.
You think you hold the Chiefs to 17 points
Mm.
at the bank? You think
Crazy.
you win that game 99%? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But I think whatever the game plan was, it didn't get executed properly.
Okay, you bring
so
up game plan. Why the hell are you not running the ball more, bro? You had success running the ball.
all year.
Yes.
I feel like I was not watching the Baltimore Ravens team that we had seen all year long.
Yeah.
And they weren't running the football, killing themselves with personal foul penalties,
Yes.
offensively and defensively. Obviously had some crucial turnovers, just the execution in general. But that defense holds Mahomes and the Chiefs to 17 points. You think that the Ravens are supposed to win that game 9 out of 10 times, and I guess that was the one time they lost.
You think that's the Mahomes effect, though?
Listen, when you got that dude on the other side of the ball, man, you have no room for error.
Yeah.
So you can't turn the ball over. You can't give him 15 yards on top of a 30-yard play. You can't be first in 25 because you, whatever, doing some taunting penalty. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, you have Mahomes over there, you have to be on point because those guys are experienced. They've been in this position 4 out of the last 5 years, and they're playing their best football right now when it matters the most. And so when you run into that, along with Andy Reid, along with Patrick Mahomes, and the Taylor Swift combo, shoot.
Oh,
Come on, man. You got to be on point. You got to be on point.
All right, so you played for a couple teams. Who's your favorite teammate?
Shoot, man. My favorite teammate, man. I just had to go with probably my best friend, my brother Cam Jordan. You know what I mean?
You have to say Cam.
Yeah,
You ain't say
yeah,
Cam. I was
yeah,
like, dang.
Yeah, I had to go.
Quality beat.
We came right. all 11 draft class.
Yes.
We came in together, man, and we both got drafted first round to the Saints together, and we just kind of been, man, we've been tight ever since, bro. Both our dads played. Your dad played. We're big on the legacy vibes, big on the energy vibes. So I'd have to say Cam Jordan, man.
Well, let's move to college football. You know, your coach retired this past year,
Man.
Nick Saban, Alabama legend now. And, man, give us a good Nick Saban story.
Listen. Man, he got a lot, man. But I'll tell you about how he sat. What he told me when he came and sat in my living room when I was in high school. Flies in, and after I take a visit, he comes in. He's like, "Hey, you have the opportunity to be a great player for us." He's like, "If you don't, it's your own fault." And I was like, "So, like, how do you feel about our team? Like, if I come there?" He's like, "If you come with this recruiting class," he's like, "I think we'll be pretty good your first year." And he was like, "But the second year, I think you'll win the national championship." My first year, we went 12-0. We lost to Florida 1-2 in the SEC championship. They went on to win the national championship. But the next year, we went 14-0 and won the national championship. He told me verbatim in my living room as an 18-year-old high schooler, and my mom and my grandpa, my family, he told us to our face verbatim what would happen.
Wow.
So I'll never forget that stuff because, like, he literally said, "You'll be pretty good." We went 12-0, lost our last two games, so 12-2, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the next year, we went 14-0 and won the national championship. He sit there and called it. I'll never forget that.
That's special.
Does he come up to you and be like, "Told you so"?
No, he said that it was just recruit pitch trying to get me to go. But I'm like, bro, like, you literally called it. You know what I mean?
That's why he's the GOAT.
It's
right?
crazy.
Yeah, that's why he's
It's
the
crazy.
GOAT.
Yeah. So that's probably a story that I like a lot. He thinks he's a jokester. You know what I mean? He tells you anything past midnight, like, it ain't good. If you ain't got it by midnight, you ain't getting it done. You know what I mean? So no, he's just a good dude, man, and he deserves it all, man. He's the best college football coach ever, and man, he's 72 years old with a lot of different things. He owns a Ferrari dealership, Benz dealership, has a lot of other things going for him, so he deserves to finally enjoy the fruits of his labor.
That explains why everybody's got a car, right?
Right? Well,
Well,
I didn't have no Benz.
I was gonna say,
I didn't have no Benz.
NIL days were with Mark, so he didn't get the car, right? Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what you're here for. You're here for American Gaming Association?
Yes, sir.
I was
AGA.
going to talk about American Gangster Association,
Okay,
right?
You know we that too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Projects that Americans will be upwards of $23 billion
Yes.
on the big game for Sunday.
Yep.
What are the keys to winning a high-stakes game like this?
The key is to bet responsibly. Bet responsibly. Know the odds.
Yep.
Know your limits.
Yep.
And good luck. May the odds forever be in your favor.
Oh,
So
there you go.
Yeah.
Hunger Games.
So legalized sports betting is just, transform consumer entertainment, man. I mean, just in 5 years, the growth of legalized sports gambling with the AGA, like, it's went from one state in Las Vegas, to now it's 38 states, including Washington, D.C. And it's full circle moment for the AGA and I think everyone in America, because this is the first Super Bowl in Las Vegas and the AGA sports gambling is booming like no other. So make sure you're with legal betting sites. Make sure you bet responsibly. Shout out to the AGA, man, holding it down.
That's what's up. All right, it's time for Cam's Blitz.
Cam's Blitz.
Quick questions, quick answers. Here we go. If you weren't an NFL player, what would be your career path?
Talking about sports, like now, commentating.
There you go. You approached You've been approached for the Mark Ingram sandwich. What's on it?
Like a chicken cutlet, some bacon, some light ranch, some banana peppers, and some light cheese.
Okay. You're going on a fishing trip. Who you taking with you?
Taking Cam Jordan, Cam Hayward.
I like it. I like it.
Cams. You go with the Cams.
The
Go with
Cams.
2011 game, and they just monsters. So when we get the big tuna on the line, they
You have a time machine. You have to give advice to rookie Mark Ingram. What you telling him?
I'm telling them, control what you can control, young man.
Mm.
If you worry about things you can't control, you will go crazy. And that would have saved me a lot from going crazy.
I love
it's
that.
easier said than done, but control what you can control, young man.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. More likely to play in the NFL season next year, you or Le'Veon Bell?
Me, 1,000%. No, I'm just playing.
Ooh, there you go.
No, I'm content. I'm content with Big New. No,
Yeah,
but
so that big dude money. Yeah, that big
no.
dude money.
Le'Veon got it, man. I told myself I'd give myself a year. Somebody called. I was still working in training. I was ready to roll.
Yeah.
But I said after the year, maybe, we gonna call it. But, I haven't called it yet. But Le'Veon, man, do your thing if you're going back. He want to come to y'all. So
He do.
Yeah, he does.
Gotta make that happen. I don't make the decisions, so
yeah,
Put a good
just
word in for him. man.
Employee
Get your-
97.
yeah. Literally
Employee-
97.
Yeah, employee 97.
Last of the list. All right, last question. It's a two-parter. What's your favorite Usher song? And what do you think he's gonna open up with for
you
the halftime
remind
performance?
me of a girl
Oh,
that I
there you go.
once knew.
Keep going.
See her face whenever I look at you. Wouldn't believe all of the things she put.
Got the dance moves too.
Oh, you've
This
been the mere
is
practice.
why I just can't get with you.
Okay, perfect.
The opener gotta be someone that everyone loves. Probably like, yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right, well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's been another episode of Not Just Football. I want to say thank you to Mark Ingram for coming on, brother.
Hey, appreciate y'all for having me, dog.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Mark.
We represent the AGA, man. Bet responsibly, please. Enjoy, and may the odds forever be in your favor.